Watching soccer is always fun because there's always something going on to keep the audiences entertained, whether it's a fight, something funny, or an incredible goal being scored. However, because soccer is watched by a huge audience and often broadcast across the world, it means that nothing can really go unnoticed, and sometimes professional soccer players wish they would. In today's video, we'll be talking about the most embarrassing moments in soccer history. So if you want to see more, keep watching. But before we begin this video, if you enjoy content like this, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and make sure to turn on post notifications so you can be the first to hear about my next video. Alright, let's get into it. Number 1, Diana Ross. So obviously this isn't a football player, but it's still a pretty embarrassing moment that happened in a game that will forever be kept on record. Diana Ross performed at the opening ceremony of the 1994 World Cup, and her performance was highly anticipated and watched by millions. During her routine, she was supposed to kick a ball into a net from all 5 yards to bring them into the game and start the championship. Unfortunately, she didn't have the best technique and didn't exactly kick the ball in. Not her finest moment, we should probably let you know, but one that will be remembered since it was caught on video. We still love you, Diana. Number 2, Kevin Keegan's rant. Kevin Keegan decided on an emotional speech during one of his interviews, fueled by a comment that Alex Ferguson made a few weeks before, saying that teams tried harder when playing against Manchester United. Keegan clearly didn't agree with this view, and it left him quite upset and emotional, which prompted his rant on this interview. Unfortunately, Keegan's speech was not enough, and Manchester United ended up taking the trophy that season, leaving Keegan with the only memories of his long and emotional rant on camera. Ouch. Probably not the highlights he'll be rewatching anytime soon. Number 3, Fahad Khalfan open goal. Fahad Khalfan has unfortunately risen to fame not because of his skills as a footballer, but for one of the biggest bloopers of all time that will follow him around for the rest of his life. Khalfan was only 19 when he made his second appearance for Qatar's national team in the 2010 Asian Games. At the end of the game, the score was tied 0-0, and Khalfan produced what is now known as an epic fail, missing from centimeters out with nobody near him. This was of course recorded on camera and talked about by everyone, and his team was eventually eliminated from the game. The striker hasn't appeared to play with the national team since, and we're not really sure if we'll see him again. Oh, well, I mean, it was fun while it lasted, I guess, right? Number 4, Verica FC's collective effort. Imagine a whole team missing a goal as a collective effort. I'm not sure if that's better or worse, to be honest, so I think it's your call. Greece's Verica team just seemed incapable of getting the ball into the net, even though the team was made up of extremely talented players. The entire front goal hired couldn't seem to do it despite many of their tries. Even the audience was shocked, and you could hear their gas after every missed goal. This definitely wasn't Verica's finest moment, and safe to say people watching the game weren't really all that happy with the outcome either. Definitely more practice needed for that team. Come on guys, let's get this chemistry going. Number 5, Peter Eckelman. This one comes from a Finnish goalkeeper, and it proves that goalkeepers are also capable of having some pretty embarrassing moments, but this one is also pretty memorable. In a Midlands derby match against Birmingham, the team's most important match of that season, Eckelman made a grave mistake missing the goal, which caused an eruption from the Birmingham fans behind him, which even spilled out to the pitch in front of him. In that match, you knew who the Birmingham supporters were. However, one good thing about Eckelman is that he did really well to keep his cool and not show how much his faults affected him. Mistakes do happen after all, and good job for being a professional. Number 6, Shay Given. This was an error that you kind of wish wasn't caught on camera, but here we are. At this particular game, a straightforward cross is caught, but moments later, Dublin is celebrating a goal for Coventry. This is because Given simply forgot to look over his shoulder, which made the other team win. This probably left him cringing for months, but luckily for Given, he's a super talented player and has had enough successful goals that we're almost able to forget about this one. What? Well, almost. We're still talking about it right now. Much love, Given. Number 7, Rene Higuita. Higuita is known as a pretty outgoing character in the football scene, but even he makes mistakes, making a pretty big error in the 1990 World Cup. The Colombian goalkeeper was always keen to play sweeper even when he was in goal, and this proved to backfire pretty badly for him. That error led to Colombia's exit from the tournament and got him a lot of hate from Colombia, which is a nation that's pretty crazy about football. Although he was trying something different, it was clear that this tactic was never going to work. In fact, 4 years later, a fan shot defender Andres Escobar dead after scoring an own goal in the World Cup. Definitely not the right nation to mess with in football. However, Higuita didn't seem to learn and performed a scorpion kick in 1995. We still didn't forget about his mistake in 1990, but I mean, it was a cool move. Number 8. Goran Rubil. Own goals are pretty popular errors in football for everyone, and there have been some pretty embarrassing moments for footballers because of them. Hajduk Split defender Goran Rubil has a pretty embarrassing one himself, and this has proven to be one of the most embarrassing own goals in history. To make things worse than it already is, the goal occurred in a match against the team's bitter rivals, Lokomotiva. Definitely not the team's finest moment, and probably something that Rubil was upset over for quite a while. We definitely would be too, but hey, mistakes happen. Nothing to shoot someone over. It would just have been better if they didn't happen against, your rivals. Number 9. Italy versus North Korea. This is once again a whole team embarrassment. In 1966, Italy suffered probably the most embarrassing defeat that a nation has endured in the World Cup of all places. You can see the footage, and even though it's in Mandarin, you can still see what's going on. At the time of the tournament, there had only been 7 World Cups, and Italy came out victorious in 2 of them, putting a lot of pressure on the Italian team. They were put against North Korea and expected to win with no worries. However, Italy was shockingly eliminated because they lost the match. This ended up being the only World Cup that North Korea won, but they progressed further than Italy, which was a pretty embarrassing defeat. The nation was super unhappy at their team, as when they returned back, they were met with upset fans who tossed eggs and tomatoes at them. At least the tomato farmers were happy that year. Number 10. France 2010 World Cup. Many football fans will remember this one, and it will be forever talked about in football history. France has quite a lot of embarrassment on the world stage, and unfortunately, a lot of it has been filmed on camera for the world to see. But the 2010 World Cup might be the most embarrassing moment for them. The team only qualified for the World Cup after a goal against Ireland. Since they lost every single match, most notably they lost to South Africa, argued in front of the world media, and even boycotted training. So not only were they losers, but they were sore losers as well. Sore. This definitely put them in a different light and gave them a lot of proof the next time. Number 11. Richard Keys and Andy Gray. This is definitely an embarrassing one for former player Andy Gray and presenter Richard Keys, when several of their off-screen chats were obtained by the media and immediately began to turn some heads. The clip showed them making extremely sexist comments and making crude remarks towards women. As a result of this, they were dropped by Sky Network, where they had presented football since they came to television. Their comments were especially targeted towards Cian Macy, female linesman, and are still under investigation. The duo suffered a lot of backlash from the public and have pretty much ruined their careers because of their inappropriate and sexist comments. So it doesn't look like we'll be seeing any more of the duo from now on, and it might be for the best. Number 12. Ryan Giggs. When you're a famous sports star, you have to be careful with what you do because the media will always have a way of finding out, and this could have detrimental consequences to your career. At the end of his career, Ryan Giggs was going down as one of the best, most respectable players in history. However, respect for him seemed to go down quite quickly after details about his private life were spread by the media. It was then revealed that he was having an affair with Imogen Thomas, former Miss Wales, and Giggs tried super hard to threaten the media so the story wouldn't get out there, but of course he was exposed. The media was forbidden to write about the topic, but the word still spread on several media outlets, and soon the world knew about the affair. Many considered Giggs to be a role model, so this was a shock to many fans and definitely made many lose respect for him. Since then, Giggs has pretty much been in hiding, and we don't blame him. We doubt we'll be hearing a lot of good things about him in the future, to be honest. And that concludes today's video of the most embarrassing moments in soccer history. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you had some fun. I know I did. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And make sure to turn on post notifications so you can be the first to hear about my next video. We're always making fun stuff like this. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.